Hi, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here, and I brought the E-flite Extra 300 3D back out here to have a little bit more fun. We have less wind today. In fact, man, that sock is hanging straight down right this minute. There's at times when it's gusting up a little bit, and when it does have a little bit of wind, it's changing directions from the east to the northeast. That's why I got the airplane actually angled across this rear parking lot right now, but we're going to change it and shoot off the end of the driveway here straight into the east, and should be good to go. Doesn't need that much room to roll out to get all this power going, and probably go straight up if I wanted to, but I want to do some pretty smooth flight. I did move all those weights up in around the motor to their permanent locations, since it flew pretty decent with the weight that I had put in there. So I think I had 8 ounces of extra weight strapped to the top of the battery, so got all that in there. I did move the push rod for the elevator in one hole on the servo arm, so that the resolution was a little bit lower. And I also increased the expo on low rates to 35% on all 3 surfaces, and a 40% expo on all 3 surfaces and high rates. So we'll see how that does. I feel like it's going to be a pretty good setup for this airplane, and I'm pretty excited to really start having fun with it. But today it's going to be kind of like the second maiden, you know, because yesterday I flew it, but it was pretty windy. It was hard to tell exactly everything it was doing. The takeoff was a little squirrely. The landing was squirrely. So hopefully all I'm looking for today is some nice, smooth, almost scale looking takeoffs and landings. And, you know, we don't want to stall it onto the ground. We want to bring it in and get a little flare and set it down. So let's get this thing in the air and see how it does. Gotta love it when the windsock is hanging down like that and the sun is shining up high, so it's not in my eyes. Like I said, we're going to turn the airplane and fly off the end of the drive here. Throttle cut off. I got her in low rates, and still no safe. Making sure everything is still moving the right directions. I didn't change anything as far as that, but it doesn't hurt to check every time you power up. You can see it change directions just a slight bit. All right, we'll take off like that because I just want to get a nice straight takeoff. Just like that. That's what I wanted to see. Staying at about half throttle. And the landing's going to come around something like this. Oh, I don't know what that was, but it got tweaky on me there for a second. Let's bring it around this way. We might not try to go that way. Oh, it just blew my windsock down. That's what I was saying about that wind picking up on me. It almost feels like it's coming out of the east now. So we'll probably come in something like this, maybe more. I do want to get a touch and go in before we get flying too much. Burn off too much time. I do want to practice this a couple times. Just get a nice landing in. Keeping the power on this airplane. Oh, I flared a little too early. Let's bring it back this way since it's so far away. Just want to be able to see it a little better when it takes off. Taxiing a little too fast there. You gotta let it. Tail draggers need to move a little slower on the ground. If you think about it, we can taxi these almost as fast as a full-scale plane, but if you think about it in scale speeds, it should be going a whole lot slower. to be the same as far as scale goes. All right, guys, if wind feels like it's coming that direction now, and I had the wind slide set up to go that way, or come from the wind coming from that way, that's why I blew it down. There was nothing to hold it up. So yeah, that's what I want to see. And then we'll bring it around and see if I can get the same look for the landing. I just need to see it smooth landing. Keeping the throttle on just a little bit here. There, backing off. Oh, using the rudder to turn it a little bit because it was starting to get too close to them parking blocks. Taxiing back way too fast, but just want to get it back and set up for another takeoff. But that's the kind of, I just wanted to get a couple practice rounds in because of it being a new airplane that I haven't flown much. The takeoffs and landings, really want to get those established. That way I can start to have some fun and not worry about those things. Well, it takes off nice and straight now that it's all lined up. And let's get it back into the wind now and just make sure, you know, I corrected for roll yesterday. I just want to make sure that I did it right. Okay, no roll. It did dive a little bit, so let's bring it around. We'll get it inverted and make sure it's not trying to climb. So it is holding that way pretty good, so we could probably adjust a little bit of up in the trim. I think I even said that yesterday, that it seemed like it was flying inverted really well. Well, that's usually a sign that the trim is in the down position, helping it stay up. And if you don't get that just right, it will make your roll look a little funny. Like it'll do something a little bit weird. It won't be right on, like straight like an arrow. It'll kind of wobble it through the roll. So you want to get that cleaned up as much as you can. That way when you roll, it stays nice and true. The wind picked up there just a little bit, and so I was anyways, I was just trying to deal with the wind there for a second, not anything else really. Forced it into a pretty hard stall there. I hit the rudder both directions, got it almost completely stopped, and then it rolled over pretty hard. Kind of did that, and you can see it spiraled down into the stall. It recovers pretty quick though, so I'm pretty happy with that. And that's kind of what you expect out of a 3D plane. Because I tell you what, with this airplane, I might be trying to learn a little more. Little more, maybe. Just a little more. My buddy Anthony May loves to see those inverted or outside loops. And so we do have to pull one of those off here pretty soon. Let's try it out. It's way up high, coming around nice and slow. And way offline, but it made it around. That wind has picked up. The sock was hanging straight down when we started, and now it would be standing out pretty decent. And see it slowing down pretty quick, guys. So that's one nice thing about this airplane, or not nice, whichever way you see it. This airplane will go to stall pretty quick if you let it. Now it's not tail heavy, but it's centered. And that's with 8 ounces, I think, of weight in the nose. I like the way it's traveling. That's kind of what I expect out of an airplane, is I need it to be rolling forward. not go straight to, you know, if it's tail heavy, that tail will drop down and it'll stop in the air quick. And this one is rolling forward for my landing, so that's kind of what I need. And that's what I learned that from the Edge. And like I said, the fuselage design looks very similar. Like maybe they use the same mold for the fuse. All the other parts, like the wing and oh, it was moving a little too fast. So we'll bring it around. I haven't had the timer go off, but we're going to bring it in and see what the timer says. You know what I haven't done is a knife edge with this yet, but let's see what the time says and then we'll... Alright, we're pretty high on this landing, but I didn't flare, so I let it come in. We got 17 seconds left, so we'll get it in the air one more time. I want to see a knife edge from right to left, because those are my directions, right? So need to take off, get it back down here, then turn it back that way, and see if I can get a decent knife edge with this. Even in low rates, it's got a pretty good throw with that rudder, so I think I can do it. Oh, that... You see how hard it turned? The wind is just picked up. So it looks like the wind is coming from this direction now. So that's crazy. No wonder I struggled with that last landing. So let's get it down here. We'll get it turned around into the wind. There's my timer, but I want to get a knife edge started. Pretty good. It's falling a little bit, but I'm holding it. Let's get her straightened out, bring it back down here and line it up for the landing at more of an angle, because it definitely changed directions. That's a nice thing about this parking lot being, I am dead stick right now, way too far, so let's bring it back around. Didn't get it slowed down enough by the time it got to me. I am worried about getting it too slow. I don't want to pancake it. Here we are, dead stick again, trying to bleed speed. Wow, that was ugly. Let's try it again, and maybe this time, because it feels like it's that way, we'll get it over this part and land it this direction. I am over time now, but I want a smooth landing to finish this. I had a couple pretty decent landings already, and it just kind of hurts to see that landing. And it's just because the wind's changed directions from straight across to the other direction now. And so we'll bring it down here over the drive. There we go, nice and easy. There we go, it's set down. Beautiful, beautiful. Much better. And that's how important it is to be nose into the wind for takeoffs and landings. You can see how it was hopping and doing all kinds of weird stuff, and I was just off by 30, 40 degrees into the wind. Man, this is a fun airplane, guys. I'm really looking forward to getting more into this. It's got so much power. We're 43 seconds over, and yesterday, after the video, my mom got out of the truck and said, I couldn't see half of it. Can you put it back up? So I had to fly it again, and so I know that the 5-minute timer, I was able to get like 2 or 3 more minutes, and I checked the battery at home, and I was perfect at 3/8. So guys, man, this E-flite Extra 300 3D, so much fun. And it's definitely not a beginner, and it might not be in your first 3 airplanes. I would say it that way. You guys want to wait until you've flown some low-wing airplanes a few times before you go to this airplane. It's going to be a little bit challenging. I had an ant crawling on me. Anyways, the Extra 300 was so much fun, and it was just beautiful out here for Easter. Happy Easter to everybody. And I hope everybody's having a great weekend and plenty of food and all that kind of stuff. And until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here.